Welcome to it. This is Trendz, your entertainment one-stop avenue on the SABC News channel. I am your host. Of course, the name is Muilwa. The pleasure is indeed all mine that you could join me again, so let's get into it. These are your headlines. An exhibition tackling issues of violence against women and children in South Africa is showcasing at Constitution Hill. The inaugural Africa Music Concert kicks off tomorrow with a lineup of the best musicians and voices from South Africa and the diaspora. And the London Film Museum was a hype of activity when Bond's superfast cars were on display. Now, pageant season, the season for beauty with a purpose, is indeed upon us. Earlier this week in Sandton, the top 12 Miss South Africa finalists for 2016 were announced at a send-off party for Miss South Africa Liesl Laurie and First Princess Timunye. In December, Liesl, Miss South Africa, is off to China to compete at Miss World, whilst her First Princess will compete at the Miss Universe pageant in Las Vegas.
The top 12 Miss SA finalists for 2016 have bigger shoes to fill. They are left with just a few months before one of the finalists takes over the reins from Liesl Laurie. But the stakes much higher for Liesl and her First Princess Timunye. The two beauties will be representing the country in two prestigious pageants. Liesl will compete in the 65th Miss World to be held in China in December. She'll be representing South Africa against 123 other countries.
I'm looking forward to meeting everyone, making friends all across the world that I can visit later on, and also just seeing what the girls have been doing in their countries. I think it's very important. We can learn so much from each other, because I could be here in South Africa believing that I'm doing the best that I can, where I could meet someone from Gibraltar or the US that tells me, actually, you could do it like this and you'd achieve so much more. So for me, it's about learning and it's about meeting new people. I just feel that I'm very blessed because all eyes will be on me from the moment I arrive. And that for me is a blessing rather than pressure. So all I have to do is make sure that the eyes that are on me from the second I step off the plane stays on me.
On the other hand, Bronco Spade Bond Timunye will be representing the country at the 64th Miss Universe pageant to be held at the Access in Las Vegas on the 20th of December. For her, it is an honor to be part of this pageant.
Growing up, I knew that I wanted to become Miss Universe. But to become Miss Universe, you first have to become Miss South Africa. And I remember last year when I saw that, okay, I didn't get the Miss South Africa crown, but at least I was First Princess. So my mom kept on calling me Miss Universe, good morning, Miss Universe. And I'd say, good morning, Miss Universe's mother. And here we are today. So for me, it's not a complete shock because it's something I've prayed for throughout the whole year. Now it's just, a dream that's becoming a reality, and I'm really happy. So I'm not nervous, I'm actually excited. But we'll see once I get onto that plane what happens.
Laurie and Timunye will both take as official gifts a piece of Robben Island fence where Nelson Mandela was imprisoned, with a framed picture of Madiba by artist Mark Alexander to the pageants. Meanwhile, the 2016 Miss South Africa pageant will be staged in March next year.
Now, every aspect of the Miss South Africa pageant supports the ideals and attributes of today's woman, a woman who has her own goals and views of her role within society. This life-changing experience opens many doors to the finalists we have witnessed over many years go on to achieve phenomenal success. And while I am standing here graced by the lovely top 12, welcome, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, you are so lovely. And just, as a start, okay, let me know, Rabetswe, what is it about this competition? As a young girl growing up, having seen, the many who've come before you, why did you want to be a part of this competition?
Well, I was inspired by former Miss South Africans and the impact that they made across South Africa and how they carried themselves and the way that they presented themselves as a Miss South African. That's what inspired me to enter Miss South Africa.
Okay, and just can I get somebody else who'll tell me about the ideals and values that they hold, that they believe are exactly what a Miss South Africa in 2016 needs?
Miss South Africa is all about intelligence. It's all about a beauty with a purpose and doing good, empowering women. And I think we all embody those qualities, and we all have a good chance to win.
Sure. And that's the thing, right, when you talk about beauty with purpose, because many a time people look down on pageantry, they look down on models. Models aren't healthy, models aren't a reflection of what society and women are like. But how will, you go towards dispelling those myths? Because really it is not just about your bodies and your beauty. You're all beautiful. There's many other women in South Africa who are beautiful, but that whole thing of beauty with a purpose. Anybody else?
Okay. Thank you so much. Well, definitely, I think, especially this year, the Miss South Africa pageant has emphasized being uniquely you. As you can see, a lot of our girls are going to have natural hair on pageant day. They're all going to be very natural. You're going to have your own unique style, and to me that is really, really great. And if you look at models like Winnie Hollow with the Viglio skin disease, and that is what beauty is all about, and that is what we want to embody and show the girls out there, that it is just about taking your imperfection and making it beautiful and doing the best with that you can.
Okay, and now there's still a bit of time to go before March 19th. So how is it that you guys are keeping your wits about you? How are you staying sane? How are you, staying picture perfect as well? Because there is still quite a while to go, and come December, I mean, everybody just eats and celebrating the festive season. So how are you guys going to manage that?
Hi. Well, most of us are in the gym every single day. It is part of the criteria. We need to keep healthy, fit, we want to be healthy and comfortable in our skin. So we're doing the best we can. We sleep early, we wake up on time, we spend time in front of the mirror, but we we go to the gym and we eat well. So it's all about being healthy and happy.
Okay, awesome. And now, I mean, looking at all the, I'll say the black ladies, all of you guys have weaves except for one. So you have, I mean, someone else did say, the competition is about being uniquely you. But right now, it seems like everybody is still, in trend and all about the weave. So what is it for you personally about just having and embracing your own natural hair? And of course, even commenting on what we see right now on social media and the whole drive to being your beautiful, natural African self.
I think personally the message that I'm trying to send is you're enough just as you are. And I mean, women are entitled to choose whatever style that they are. And personally for me, choosing natural is sending a message to young girls to say that you shouldn't look at your hair as a problem or unmanageable. It's just celebrating who you are. I mean, you look at women like Kanye Glomo, who has her natural hair, and Mario Borges, who worked the Victoria's Secret fashion show. So there's a revolution of us actually being proud of who we are, especially as a black woman in this time and age.
Awesome. And just to close off, somebody tell me what is it that they're taking away from Liesel and Refilwe as examples?
Thanks for the question. I think it's definitely, we've had the privilege of spending a lot of time with both of them. And I think what I mostly learned is their friendship. And it's something that's quite unique in the industry. Everyone's all about the competitiveness, but I think their friendship and how they've supported each other is something that really stood out for me.
Awesome. Well, we wish you guys all the best. Looking forward to seeing all of you on the ramp in your lovely swimwear and your gowns. Thank you so very much for joining me here today.
Thank you.
Awesome. And so to Liesel and Refilwe, the entire country is without a doubt 100% behind you. As for the top 12 ladies here, catch them, battle it out, not going toe-to-toe, but rather stiletto to stiletto for the Miss South African crown on the 19th of March 2016 at Carnival City. Don't go anywhere after the break. Trendz continues with Danny K, what's buzzing in the world of film, and a lot more. Welcome back. You're tuned into Trendz. An exhibition tackling issues of violence against women and children in South Africa is showcasing at Constitution Hill in Johannesburg. Titled Over My Dead Body, the photo exhibition by Heidi Melker is the artist's first solo exhibition.
In just a few days, the 16 days of activism of no violence against women and children kicks off. And there could not have been a better way of commemorating that than with this exhibition by Heidi Melker titled Over My Dead Body. This body of work forms part of Heidi's Masters of Arts degree, and it is through this exhibition that she examines critical decision-making as a response to gender and child-based violence in the country.
It came from my own feelings of wanting to do something about this epidemic issue and not a feeling, like I had enough say. So by titling it Over My Dead Body, it was in me saying, literally you're seeing my body in this exhibition, but it's over my dead body. I'm standing up as a South African citizen and saying, I've had enough.
Heidi's work consists of a range of hand-printed photographic printmaking varying in sizes, from small intimate prints to large life-size prints. The artist believes that the challenges facing our country are complex and that the responsibilities of the arts in South Africa should not only reflect what is happening, but should contest and challenge the injustices that occur on a daily basis.
I think that art has got such a power to it, the image, the visual. I'd like it to go into social media, I'd like it to get onto screens, I'd like it to somehow penetrate different spaces that are not necessarily a gallery. Because my work is about activism, it's about trying to create awareness, about sending a message. So if I could, my biggest dream would for it to go further than the white walls of a gallery space.
Judging by these images, it is clear that the artist project adopts a position of art for social transformation within a social justice framework.
Welcome back. Now, I'm here with Danny K, who since his 2013 album titled Good Look, he's been out of the scene for a while, at least musically. He's been busy with the Shout SA campaign, he's adjusted to parenthood, to marriage, and he's here today, joining me in studio to talk about his latest single. Am I correct, Danny?
All true.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
All right.
me.
Yeah, Danny, so tell us, this is, going to be part of your 7th album.
Yeah.
You've been in the scene since 2000. The journey and the evolution of the artist known as Danny K, and what other people call you the Prince of South African pop.
Oh, really? That's a very nice title.
Yeah.
I think when I look back, I can't believe it's actually been that long that I've been lucky enough to do this. And I think it's just a product of having a great team around me and still loving what I do every day. So
that's very important, of course.
You really need to love your profession to go back in the studio and put yourself out there and still come and do interviews. But I'm very privileged. This is the dream that I had as a little boy, was to be a musician.
Awesome. And you haven't aged. So
really?
Clearly you and Pharrell know something that we don't know. So please fill us in.
Thank you for the compliment.
Yes.
I think I owe all my anti-aging abilities to my dad, who is 60 years old and looks like he's 40 years old. So, someone said to me, you can't beat genetics, no matter how many facelifts you have or creams you apply. But I've also got a very young wife and a very young child that forces me to keep very, very young.
Of course. Awesome. Now, Danny, 2007, you and Kabelo started the Shout SA campaign for a safer South Africa just after the murder of Lucky Dube. Since then, I know you released a single called Smile.
Yes.
Is it a couple of years ago now?
No, so Smile is this was our 3rd installment of Shout for a Safer South Africa. It's been a very successful NGO that we launched. It's a non-profit. We registered, and all the money we raise, we donate to various crime-fighting initiatives. And on our 3rd song, which actually just came out, called Smile, which is written by Mikasa and features over 100 of the biggest artists in the country, we're focusing on education as a means to combat crime. So we build libraries in primary schools around the country. We've built 6 amazing libraries. We put them in the most needy primary schools where literacy and numeracy is at an all-time low, and we are in turn preventing kids from turning to a life of crime by empowering them with education.
Sure.
So that's real nation building and real nation changing,
Awesome. Of course, you and Kabelo Mabalane have very loud and powerful voices to rope in your fellow musicians and other people in the entertainment sphere.
Yeah.
But as an NPO and many artists having very difficult schedules and they're performing and they need to make money at the end of the day, how do you rope in the troops to say, guys, come, let's do this? Because at the end of the day, South Africa is our foundation and we need to put ourselves out there saying we're doing good for the future.
I think the artists that we use have a tremendous sense of responsibility and gratitude for South Africa that have given them these careers. So when we call upon them and we say, look, you want to be around as an artist, you want people to be able to afford to come to your shows, afford your music. If we don't all grow as a country, we don't uplift everyone from a real base level, all of our professions are affected. I also think that what's helped us with Shout is our first campaign was enormously difficult to get all the celebrities. I mean, it took Cabello and I almost a year to just phone people, phone management, phone labels. But because we pedigreed now and because people know that, our money goes to a good cause, that we're still around, I think some credibility comes with just sticking around, being in the game. And I hope that we're seen as trustworthy individuals.
You definitely are.
And our peers, I think, acknowledge that.
All right, awesome. And just to close off, your new single with beatmaker, producer extraordinaire Anati, where will you be performing and where can people catch that?
We're about to shoot a video. It's the lyric videos on YouTube at the moment. It's called For the Girls, produced by Nati, who's kind of got the hottest hand in the business right now. He's producing more than just the song on my upcoming album. We've worked on a number of songs together. Just look out for me on Instagram, Twitter. You'll find me.
Awesome.
You'll find me.
Just in time for December. Awesome track it is. Thank you so very much, Danny K.
Thanks, Rafila.
Cheers. Now, if you're active on Twitter and Instagram, there's no way you would have missed posts with the hashtag AMC 2015, and it is finally here. The inaugural Africa Music Concert kicks off tomorrow, that's the 21st November, at the Nasrec Expo Centre in the south of Johannesburg. The concert, which seeks to promote African unity, will be a full-day fest with a lineup of the hottest trending artists and performers from all over our beautiful and talented continent.
The African Music Concert is the first of its type. It's the inaugural concert taking place in South Africa, which is meant to travel across the continent over the next few years. It's a brainchild of two promoters, MCOM and TVC, which is a partnership between a Nigerian-based company and a South African events company. They've come together to put together this concert and bring out lots of artists from across the continent, where we have various artists from across the continent coming through to perform for one day in Nasrec on Saturday. So we've got Wizkid, we've got Davido, aka Casper, Vanessa MD, who I love, Simba Tags from Zimbabwe, Archibis from Ghana, yeah, you name it, they're there.
I'm excited to be performing in South Africa on a platform of this magnitude, which happens to be my first in this part of the world. So I'm bringing energy, I'm bringing charisma, I'm bringing lots of good music and vibes. I got my dancers from Tanzania with me, so that should be exciting. Just a little cultural exchange of how we get down on my side of the world, right here on these South African grounds. Wow, to anyone who's watching, it's going to be massive. I'm excited to be here. Let's come and celebrate music, our very own, and I can't wait to see you.
The banger, heavy sound, the crazy sound. That right now I do my thing. I'm all about the bangers, the hits, and everything is a hit. So I'm giving them a mad performance on Saturday. You cannot miss this concert. Like, it's the biggest concert since this year. So everyone should come out and support Africa, support African music, support your favorite African artist.
Stay tuned, because after the break, men's fashion, some Durban hip-hop, and lots more is still to come. Stay with me. This is Trendz. Welcome back. Now, the Soweto Theatre opened its doors this past Wednesday for the 4th year of Soweto Fashion Week. The fashion extravaganza showcases the 2016 autumn and summer collections, creating a platform for young and upcoming designers to make a name for themselves. Trendz was at the official launch of the event, and don't forget, it ends this Sunday.
If you love fashion and want to know what's trending in the fashion world, well, the Soweto Fashion Week might just be a place for you to be at. On its 8th season and 4 years running, the Soweto Fashion Week gives young designers a platform to showcase their craft. The fashion show also puts local brands on the map. Stephen Manzini, who is the founder and organizer of this fashion event, says it has grown.
We've grown. You can see that we've got a lot of stakeholders now compared to where we started, which for us, this is why we feel the need to celebrate. They can expect to be wowed. They can expect summer trends. We set the trends, actually. So we set the trends, and people can expect a spectacular show.
Fashion designing is all about giving all the latest trends in the fashion. And these designers are adamant that they are ready to conquer the world of fashion. But are fashionistas learning a thing or two from such events?
In South Africa, we don't have the culture of like trend setting and doing things that are very unique and just being very risky. And I feel like if you come to an event like this, just make sure that you just go out of the box and you just go very crazy. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's the kind of stuff that I like, and I feel like that's the kind of stuff that we need to do to just further the industry.
Entertainment at this launch was galore. Lindo is one of the upcoming artists in the country, and his bits do not disappoint. Autumn and summer collections feature every year at this fashion week. This fashion showcase will end on Sunday.
Seems like it was an awesome event, and it's still carrying on until Sunday. So sultry women and edge-of-your-seat hair-raising escapades and fast cars, that is the legacy of the legendary super agent 007, better known as Bond, James Bond. And after 24 movies, this is still as true as when we first saw the cloak and dagger agent saving the world. The London Film Museum will also have a first, a live exhibition featuring iconic cars from the movie running concurrently with the film at cinemas. And one of the cars will be, of course, James Bond's Aston Martin DB10. Oh, wow.
Magnificent, isn't she? 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. A few little tricks up her sleeve.
Cars from the latest James Bond movie Spectre go on display in London, marking the first UK exhibition of vehicles and props from the film. The Cars of Spectre exhibition features James Bond's iconic Aston Martin DB10, as well as a damaged version of the villain Mr. Hinks's Jaguar CX-75 and Franz Oberhauser's Rolls-Royce Wraith. Other vehicles include a Land Rover Defender and a stunt Aston Martin-style ejector seat. Founder and CEO of London Film Museum, Jonathan Sands, explained why the exhibition was the first of its kind.
It's the first time we've been able to have a live exhibition during the theatrical launch of a film, so we're hugely excited.
He said that the standout piece of the show was Bond's Aston Martin DB10, which was designed specifically for the movie and of which only 10 were made. But it's not only 007's cars that stand out. The Jaguar CX-75, driven by the villainous Mr. Hinks in a high-speed chase with Bond through the streets of Rome, is also on display, albeit a damaged stunt version. Franz Oberhauser's Rolls-Royce Wraith and a Land Rover Defender are also on display. The cars from Bond's 24th adventure will be joining the largest official collection of 007 vehicles in the world.
They're one of the stars, you know. They go back to Dr. No and the first car chase sequence with the hearse and Sean Connery, you know, driving the hearse, chasing the hearse over the edge of the cliff, you know, and they've become a cornerstone of every single Bond movie since.
Bond in Motion, The Cars of Spectre, opened at the London Film Museum on November 18th.
Absolutely amazing. And so the James Bond franchise has done it again with the making of the cars of Spectre. The film was awarded a Guinness World Record title for the largest film stunt explosion. The explosion was filmed for a pivotal scene in the film that took place in June in Morocco and used 8,418 litres of fuel and 33 kilograms of explosives. Spectre will be released in South African cinemas next week, but for now, let's check out some of the behind-the-scenes action.
The philosophy of the Bond franchise, and mine particularly as a filmmaker, is to do things for real. So you have to roll up your sleeves and work it out.
Coming into this film, Sam was really up the ante. We're going to be spread all over the place. You know, we're going to Austria, which is a massive special effects stunt sequence.
It's something that hasn't been done before, where we have 3 cars and planes. I think it's going to be a great scene, and the audience is going to love it.
We are doing all sorts of things in Mexico, big explosions, buildings collapsing.
It's a very complicated sequence. We have a lot of special effects and a lot of stunts. So when Daniel's on the rooftop, he's actually on a rooftop in Mexico City. When we have helicopters flying over the square and down the streets, it's a real helicopter actually doing the stunts.
And then there was Morocco, which was a huge sequence for us. I think it's certainly the biggest explosion I've ever done. It's going to be a real roller coaster ride.
The tradition for Bond is always real stunts, real action, real explosions. There's nothing made in a computer, and that remains the case here. And so the ultimate goal is the kind of excitement, visceral excitement, you can only get from live stuff.
Forensics finally released this.
What is it?
Personal effects they recovered from Skyfall. You've got a secret. Something you can't tell anyone. Because you don't trust anyone.
I always knew death would wear a familiar face. But not yours.
I was at a meeting recently and your name came up.
I'm flattered London is still talking about it.
It wasn't MI6.
You're a kite dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bond.
Welcome, James. It's been a long time. And finally, here we are.
With the festive season literally just around the corner, we all love to look our best and be picture perfect for the summer. This doesn't only apply to us ladies though, because our menfolk absolutely must be well put together too. So in our studios, we invited Sean, who is a stylist, and he is here to tell us about all that the fellas should and shouldn't be doing these holidays. Welcome to Trendz, Sean.
Thank you very much for the invite.
Fantastic having you here, because every time, a lot of focus always in fashion spreads and, interviews goes towards the females.
Yes.
So tell us what's in season and trending for males right now.
Great. Standard, we say you respect a man by the shoes that he wears.
All right.
So you respect a guy by the cologne that he wears. That simply brings to attention of how far do you want to go, how far do you take your self-outer look.
Okay,
yes.
And looking at, the 2 different kinds of pairs of shoes you got. Love the sneakers in gold, very standout, very flashy. Does it take a certain type of personality to rock something like this, or is it anybody who can actually just, transform themselves and rock these?
Great. Whenever you go to a store, there's no division of doctors or high-profile people or mine workers for that matter. But each and every garment which you find at a certain store or boutique It's for anyone which has a self-confidence in how to rock those and how to put those. But now for the summer season, we need to have your drive slippers, you need to have your high-top sneakers, no longer the low cuts because they're not that much standing out. But you need those high tops that will...
The other shoes are called drive slippers.
Drive slippers, yes.
Okay, but then shouldn't that mean they should be left in the car? Because as females, we have our drive slippers. You know, when we take off our heels and you drive on your slippers, you leave them in the car.
Not exactly. The drive, it's a slash name for loafers.
Okay.
But drivers, because they lift your back part of the foot to help you through the driving. They're very comfortable.
Okay, they do look comfortable. Okay, and so, I mean, I see over here there's, is it a sling bag?
A sling bag,
okay,
definitely.
Trendy men carry sling bags.
Standard. You don't want your pockets to be full of your cell phones.
That's the thing. It creates a very bad bulge.
Your sunscreen and your perfume. You need to have your sling bag that will carry you throughout. But mind you, your sling bag needs always to be high quality. High quality meaning the belt needs, whether it's 100% cotton. If not that, it needs to be leather. If not leather, it needs to be suede.
All right. All right. You mentioned something there. You talked about sunscreen.
Yes.
Something that men don't always pay attention to is, you know, skin products and skin care. So sunscreen, definitely a must.
It's too hot. We are lacking rain in South Africa, so
is.
you need the sunscreen to keep you intact. That would not damage your outer look, because you don't want to be wearing your white, crisp white shirt and hence your sleeves or your neck is bent down. You've got your Vaseline on. You can't be having that.
All right. Okay.
Premium jelly.
Right.
Petroleum jelly.
It's taken many, many generations through all kinds of weather, so petroleum jelly, I think, will still stay. But tell me now about the flower that you have over there. It's an accessory.
Exactly.
So
a
where
lapel
does that...
flower.
Okay, lapel flower.
Of which they come in two. It's a needle and a magnet one.
Okay.
It goes well with your floral print.
I would have never thought. I mean, that's already got quite a lot of flowers, and so even to that you add...
You can add, just to enhance, just to make that high quality statement that you are about florals, you are about spring, you are about high flower, you are about sunny times.
Okay, I've seen the chinos here and the checked shirt. These pants, of course, they are, I mean, a standout piece over here. What's going on? These are hectic.
These are the must-have, the Arc jeans, which have got the Sean Stylist detailing on them. They are just simple jeans, but they've got paint on them, which is fabric paint, and what you call gold detailing on them, which will go very well with both of your sneakers or drive shoes.
Okay.
Whether you rock them at night or evening, but it's better when you put them in the evening because they give that extra look at me.
All right. So generally, I mean, your Levi's 501 have been the jeans, but right now the Arc jeans, are they the ones?
We are Arc. Remember, we don't have time to go and gym that much.
Okay.
But if you don't, this will give you that structural foot. Even when you go there, we can see that that guy is standing very well.
Okay. Okay, Sean. So where can people contact you if they want your expertise on styling them and other tips?
Good. I'm very active on social media. Sean Stylist on Instagram, and email goes by seanstylist178@gmail.com. seanstylist178@gmail.com.
Awesome, Sean. And of course, one signature thing is a man must always smell good as well.
Standard.
All right. Thank you very much, Sean, for joining me on Trendz. And after the break, we will have more on Trendz. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still watching Trendz. Apartheid might be over, but in the wise words of Spanish writer and philosopher George Santayana, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. And as such, we continually remind ourselves of the struggle and of the heroes who died to ensure our freedom. And that's exactly what the Steve Biko Foundation did when this month they remembered noted anti-apartheid activist and political leader Ahmed Timol.
Indians Can't Fly is a true story as seen through the eyes of Imtiaz Ahmed Kaji, nephew of Ahmed Timol.
Ahmed Timol was a 29-year-old school teacher. A few days short of his 30th birthday, he was detained at a police roadblock on the 22nd of October 1971. And 5 days later, police claimed that he had jumped to his death from the 10th floor of the notorious John Foster Square police station. I was only 5 years old when my beloved uncle was taken away from us, and I spent many times with my grandparents. And my grandmother's testimony to the TRC inspired me. to do something in memory of my late uncle. And hence I embarked on a journey to record the life of Ahmed Timur. And we had succeeded in publication of the book, like you stated, Timur Quest for Justice, that was launched ironically in the same building where he was murdered in 2005. But the documentary gives ordinary South Africans a 48-minute documentary on the true life of this beloved son of Africa.
Police said Timur jumped from the 10th floor of John Foster Square. Family and comrades say he was more likely to have been pushed or tortured to death and thrown. Nobody responsible for his capture and interrogation has been held accountable.
We had an opportunity during the TRC hearings in 1996 when my late grandmother testified and she appealed to the TRC Commission that she wanted to know what happened to her beloved son. And this was a golden opportunity for the security branch officers who were responsible for his detention, his interrogation, to come forward and to put their case. But unfortunately, none of them applied for amnesty, and the TRC failed to subpoena any of them. So hence there was a golden opportunity that was lost. And obviously many, many years later, many of those security branch officers have passed on. And as a family, we feel that it's very important for us to uncover the hidden truth as to what really happened to him.
Being Timur's birthday month, the Steve Biko Foundation, in remembrance, held a screening of Indians Can't Fly.
Today is Ahmed Timur's birthday, and so we thought this would be a good opportunity to introduce a new generation to what he lived and ultimately died for.
Now, internationally acclaimed South African house DJ Black Coffee recently scooped 2 major awards in Ibiza, Spain, and we all heard this, right? So his album sales reached platinum status in just 2 months of release, When Pieces of Me has been released. And how can we not mention the hashtag We Dance Again challenge that created a craze on social media and is actually still doing the rounds? The Trendz team caught up with the trend-setting DJ at Monique Bingham's music video shoot. Have a look.
With a decade on his belt for making exceptional house music, legendary South African DJ Black Coffee has put South Africa's house music higher up on the map as he has won 2 international awards, one for Breakthrough and the other for the Dance Nation of the Year award at the DJ Awards that were held earlier last month in Ibiza. He gave us the recipe of how he creates the masterpieces.
I come in house music as a fan before anything else. I'm a fan of house music. I love house music and I love listening to it more than anything. So that's in a creative space. I come from that angle. I come as a guy who, as a fan, what would I want to listen to? And I make music with that in mind. What would I want to hear as a house fan? And as a house fan, if I were to go to a gig, what would I like my DJ to sound like? 1, 2, and...
Black Coffee managed to reach platinum within the first 2 months of the release of Pieces of Me. He reached gold 2 weeks into the album through the great marketing of hashtag We Dance Again challenge campaign that made fans from all over the world post videos of themselves on social media dancing to the hit single Dance Again.
It's nice to see this kind of reaction, from the people everywhere, and the dance challenge thing is so amazing. For me, I understand it in a different way, it's not just about people dancing, it's about being brave enough to dance, being brave enough to be free and knowing the world is going to watch you and not everyone is going to like what they see, but still doing it. So it's more of an empowerment to self, than just dancing.
This album is expected to reach double platinum by the end of the year, and soon enough we will be hearing more music from Coffee and many other artists he plans on collaborating with in the future.
There's so many. Johnny Clegg, Salif Keita one day, Pharrell, Rihanna. For me, I'm one of those people who I don't want music to be defined by genre. I believe music is music, and so my list is forever endless. There's a lot of Gregory Potter. There's a lot of people I would like to work with, you know, and bring into my space of house music.
And that was the fantastic sounds of Black Coffee. And so apart from the street and mall decorations to usher everybody into the silly season and properly immersed in the spirit of Christmas, Old Mutual and the Walter Sisulu Botanical Gardens are giving you, our fantastic and loyal viewers, a chance to join in on the festivities with their annual Carols by Candlelight. Trendz is giving away 3 sets of double tickets to attend the Old Mutual Music in the Gardens with the Bala Brothers. So to stand a chance of walking away with tickets, all you have to do is send us an email telling us who will be headlining this year's Carols by Candlelight at the Walter Sisulu Botanical Gardens. The first 3 correct entries will win. Send your answer to scobeled@sabc.co.za. That email address again, as you see on your screen, is scobeled@sabc.co.za. And that's how we come to the end of this edition of Trendz. It's been a fantastic show. I hope you have been thoroughly enjoyed. We had the Miss SA hopefuls, we also had Danny K, and we had Sean the stylist, and some fantastic music and film news. Join me again next week. The name, of course, is Refill Wimwidwa for more news in showbiz from Africa and beyond. This is Trendz.
Yeah, Mr. Party, EP after party. You petty cut when you petty cash. You petty vodka when I take it dash. You petty ngane when I call it cash. Yeah, wasabi, ba, wasabi. Yeah, Mr. Party, EP after party. You petty cut when you petty cash. You petty vodka when I take it dash. The party is done, so we outie. Got this mommy that's driving an Audi. She said Steeler was popping like acne. I said this bottle of Sky the Belvy. First to make these in the cribble. Convo like Incomo, Count and Commas. Nuggets and fries, burgers and